For me, where it all connects, where it all lands, where it all makes sense is in the margins of our community. Our lived experience at Everyone Church and Everyone Village has been that when you dive into that wound, when you hunker down in that margin, you rub elbows with the Spirit of God. Like, actually. So I had, through a series of all sorts of unexpected life events, found myself as a young man entering the trade of professional logging. We had a stretch of really hard times with our crews where we were losing guys on the job. They were dying with logging accidents. Logging is a young person's game, and so my body was starting to give me signals of, you can't do this forever, guy. I know you like it. And it took 5 years from that seminal prayer to me being led down the mountain. The admissions counselor I worked with at the time actually has become a good friend, and we're still connected to this day, which is really cool. Now we do projects in the community together. Here's a guy in his midlife trying to improve his lot for him and his family, and he's got some unique circumstances. Let's just be open to whatever that is and warmly welcome that. So that was huge for me. And then because of Bushnell's amazing base of alumni and donors and supporters, they offered a very meaningful and sustainable financial aid package for my family and I, which made it all doable. There was one who was the first one to give me the confidence that a logger's tool belt would work well in ministry, and that was Dr. Terry O'Casey. So I go into his office and he looks at me and he says to me, "Do you know what you're doing with the rest of your life?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to figure that out." And he said, "Figure no more. I really, really think you should look at ministry hard. The way you're unpacking the text, the way you're writing your papers, the questions you ask, the way you describe your understanding of the text." He said, "It's just unique and you should take a hard look at it." And I laughed my way out of that conversation, but that was the first seed that led to many more from all the other amazing staff and faculty here of, yeah, there's something here. But something I would have never imagined and never saw coming and still don't fully understand happened. I became friends with a small group of homeless people that lived on the intersection the church was on. That core group of guys became a family on that porch. We started a program with the City of Eugene Manager's Office and the Eugene Police Department to put structure to it. They were giving 2 hours every Saturday to community service, and we changed that neighborhood on a dime. This is a bigger wound than the one I jumped into on 18th and Chambers. This one doesn't even seem to have a bottom. God, do you want us to jump in? And God said, I'm already down there. If you want to run with me, you're going to have to jump in. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't easy, but it was getting a little better. The business leaders in West Eugene started saying, hey, for years and years and years, this crisis has slowly gotten worse, and the city and the county, I don't think they can fix it. There's some scrappy guy out in West Eugene with a group of wacky Christians changing the game and getting wins on the table. Let's get behind them. Check for $1,000, pat on the back, phone call, keep it up. What do you need from me? I'll pay for the dumpster and the porta potty for this family unit. I'll pay for the dumpster and porta potty for this family unit. And then everything changed in the last week of August of the summer of 21. I had gotten home from a vacation with my family. I went into work on Monday morning, getting back in the saddle, and I get a phone call from Arlen Rexius. Rexius is a long-time, multi-generation company in our community. They're considered an anchor to the vertebrae of private business here. And so I'm thinking he wants to give me a check for $1,000, or a lot of people didn't like what we were doing and they weren't shy to tell us that neither, and so maybe he's going to chew me out, you know. And he says, get in my car. And we roll up to this steel gate, and he unlocks the gate and rolls it open, and we walk in, and it's just this giant 4-acre empty lot. There's nothing there. He turns around, he said, here you go, kid. Hands me the keys. It's all yours. Don't screw it up. For me, because of my logging background, my walk with the Lord is very visceral. It's very sense-oriented. I met God in creation, not in a church. And that summer, I felt the movement, the brushings of the Holy Spirit on my elbows, on my back, as we're down in the dirt and the guts and the blood and the needles and the poop and the piss and the suffering and the meth and all of it, and the fentanyl, all of it. There he was. I mean, there he was.